So very good morning students. So today we are going to discuss very important topic, device management. So it is better to go through the topics what are all covered in fourth unit. Unit 4, device management, techniques for device management, device characteristics, hardware considerations, channels and control units, device allocation considerations, I/O traffic controller, I/O scheduler, I/O device handlers, virtual devices, design of a polling system. Okay, these are all the topics going to be covered in fourth unit, that is device management. And the textbook for to understand these topics: operating system, Stuart E. Madnick, Joe Donovan, chapter number unit 4 covered in chapter 5 of this book. Okay, next come to understand device management. So this is the topic today we are going to discuss. So I told already, operating system is a system software acting as an interface between computer hardware and computer user. Okay, so the main purpose of operating system is to provide an environment in which user may execute their program. Okay, so when a user wants to execute their software, that is a software program, operating system going to act as an interface to providing an environment that is useful for executing the user program. At the same time, there are some goals. So that is device utilization. So this is a primary goal. So based on this, operating system having 4 important modules, that is memory management module, device management module, processor management module and information management module. So in the previous chapters we discussed introduction, memory management and processor management. So now we are going to discuss the device management, isn't it? So these 4 are the functions of operating system. At the same time, each OS module, that is memory management module, processor management module, having some functions. Okay, so for your understanding, memory management module and its functions are 4, that is keep track of the status of memory, second determine the allocation policy, third allocation, fourth one deallocation. Likewise, in device management there are 4 functions of device management. So first one, keeping track of the status of all devices which requires special mechanisms. One commonly used mechanism is to have database such as unit control block associated with each device. Each device is a unit. So for each device there is a unit control block. So in the previous class we discussed PCB. PCB means process control block. So each process has its own PCB, that is process control block. So the process control block contains more informations or sufficient informations about one process. Likewise, in device management, so in device management, each device going to be treated as a single unit, so there is a unit control block. Second function of device management is deciding on policy to determine who gets a device. Actually, in a multi-programming environment, we are going to execute many programs. A computer going to be make busy by multiple number of users. So when a computer going to depute their services for multiple number of users and providing different types of resources to various users, based on the policy alone it can allocate, then program can be executed. Okay, so device means based on the policy device how long it going to be assigned and when. Okay, these are all determined, so that here the policy, okay, device policy, when you are going to discuss this, there are three types of devices: dedicated, shared and virtual. Okay, so for each types of devices a different policy must be enforced. The third function of device management is allocation, that is physically a device is going to be assigned to one user or one process. Then the last one, deallocation. Once a process come to terminate, that device must be reassigned to OS, because OS is a resource manager and a controller. Okay, so it only going to allocate and deallocate. So keep track of the status of device, determine the allocation policy, allocation and deallocation. These are all the functions of device management. So come to understand the device management. IO devices can be roughly grouped under three categories. First one, human readable. Second one, machine readable. And third one, communication. You should not confuse the techniques, three techniques: the dedicated, shared and virtual. Okay, these three are techniques. Here human readable, machine readable, communication are three groups. So under any one groups the device going to be classified. So human readable means those devices that establish communication between computer and user. Okay, these devices are directly operated by human being, that is keyboard, mouse, printer, this and all. Second one, machine readable. Those devices that are suitable for communication with electronic equipment, for example disk. Okay, so we will not going to touch the disk, sensors, controllers. Okay, so these are all machine readable. And third one, communication devices. So those devices that are suitable for communication with remote devices, for example modem. Okay, so modem going to connect computer with internet. So routers, switches. Okay, so within a computer, buses, address bus, control bus, these are all communication devices. Okay. So in device management, the very first topic is techniques for device management. Okay. So when we are going to discuss the techniques for device management, techniques means it directly deals the types of devices. Okay. So there are three major techniques, or there are three major types of devices. First one dedicated, second one shared, and third one virtual. Okay, you remember always that there are three types of devices: dedicated devices, shared devices, and virtual devices. Okay, so computer devices can be roughly divided, grouped into three: human interactable, machine interactable, and devices for communication purpose. Okay, so you should not confuse these two. So come to understand dedicated devices. Okay, so actually the term dedicated, it implies its meaning. Dedication means more involvement. Okay, more involvement, that is dedicated means the server going to, the server means the device going to offer some services, isn't it? That service, what service a device offer, going to be dedicated, that is dedicated devices. So that dedicated devices means dedicated device is allocated to a job. Okay, so job means if you are going to submit one user program for execution, means that is a job. Okay, so if a device going to be assigned to one job for the entire duration, means that is dedicated. Next, okay, come to understand dedication, dedicated devices. I told already, a device offers some services, isn't it? What service the device offered going to be consumed by only one job at a time is called a dedication. Are you clear? Okay, for your understanding, printer. So printer offering printing services. So the printer can do printing operation for only one document at a time, isn't it? So the printer cannot print multiple documents at a time, so that it is dedicated. So the printer is fully assigned to one document, that is dedicated. So printer is a dedicated device. So unfortunately dedicated assignment may be insufficient. So if the job does not fully and continually. Okay, so actually a dedicated device is assigned to one job, mean the job must make the device more busy. The job must utilize the device some percentage. The other technique, okay, so dedicated device means the service offered by one device going to be consumed by only one device at a time. Okay, so other two techniques are shared and virtual. So come to understand shared devices. So some devices such as disk, drums, and most other direct access storage devices, RAM, may be shared concurrently by several processes, isn't it? So in the previous class in memory management we discussed how memory is shared by multiple jobs in a multi-programming environment. Okay, so random access memory offered multiple write operation and single multiple read operation and single write operation. Okay, so this read operation and multiple reading operation and single write operation is shared by multiple number of users. So storage devices, that is direct access storage devices, that is RAM, this and all shared devices. Shared means concurrently. When one process consume the service of device, at the same time another process also can consume. So the management of a shared device can become quite complicated because, so this will be discussed in the later topics. Okay, because the device itself having some limitation, so that is a number of users, so number of hours. Okay, so based on this limitation its service going to be shared. Next, virtual devices. Okay, so virtual means physically not available, but conceptually it is available. Physically not available, but conceptually available. So come to understand virtual devices. So we discussed already virtual memory, isn't it? So virtual memory means for executing 500 MB program, we need 500 MB RAM, but a 500 MB program going to be executed by 100 MB RAM. Very clear? A 500 MB program is executed successfully with 100 MB RAM, but user point of view, this program is executed with 500 MB RAM, but OS allocated only 100 MB. So with the 100 MB RAM, the entire program is divided into 5 partitions, and 5 partitions going to be loaded and stored whenever an instruction needed. Okay, so these are all discussed in virtual memory. So likewise here virtual devices. So virtual devices means some devices that would normally have to be dedicated may be converted into shared devices. What it mean? A dedicated device going to be conceptually converted into a shared devices. So by a technique spooling, that is a simultaneous peripheral operation online. What it mean? So I told already, printer is a dedicated device. So a printing operation can be for one document. Okay, suppose if the printer is attached with the server, if the printer is attached with the server, and from multiple number of client, many user can submit their documents to be printed.